AITA for bugging my wife to be a stay-at-home mom so we don't have to pay for daycare? I, 34M, have been married to my wife, Kelsey, 30, for 8 years. We have 3 children together, ages 6, 5, and 4, and Kelsey is currently pregnant. I work 5 days a week as a dentist, and Kelsey is a hair and nail tech at her mother's salon. With our first child, Kelsey was in school still, and we only had to worry about daycare for our second and third child, which was very expensive in our area, especially for our financial status at the time. We've recently been looking into daycare for our baby on the way, and it is very pricey but affordable for us now. I personally feel daycare is unnecessary with the money I make. I make the most money and could provide with my paychecks alone. I've tried talking to my wife about quitting her job and being a stay-at-home mom, but she instantly refused and said it was her passion. I then tried suggesting she work from home and she refused and said she'd only had a few clients, that way if any, and the pay wouldn't be good. I tried reminding her that the pay doesn't matter, but she just got upset. Today I brought it up again and she snapped and said she shouldn't have to give up doing what she loves when we can cover daycare or even a babysitter, and that I was being stingy and selfish. She's now very upset with me and hasn't said much to me. I don't think I'm being unreasonable. She'll have to slow down anyways further along in her pregnancy, and I even suggested an alternative. YTA. She doesn't want her whole life to revolve around being a mom, and she doesn't want to be 100% financially dependent on you. That's okay. Respect how she feels about it. YTA. Did you ever consider that your wife's work is the only time she gets to be herself? Not a wife, not a mother, but who she actually is. It also probably gives her her social circle and friends. She needs that interaction just as much as you do. So for you to diminish it in the way that you have makes you taw. I get it. Childcare is pricey. How about suggesting a reduction in hours, but the minute she says no, accept it? YTA. She has made it clear to you that she doesn't want to give up her career. Why are you still pushing the matter? Also, being a stay-at-home mother is a very lonely occupation, and postnatal depression is a real beast if you can afford it. It's really worth her happiness in the long run. Support your wife and her career. YTA. She doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom. Seems pretty simple to understand. If you were so worried about daycare fees, then maybe don't make so many kids? Don't force your wife into a life she doesn't want just so you can fulfill your view of what a family should be. She is her own person, not your slave and incubator. YTA. You chose to keep having kids, knowing that your wife does not want to be a stay-at-home mom. Stop trying to force her to give up her career, and accept that you're going to need to pay daycare expenses. You asked once. She said no. You asked twice. She said no. You asked a third time. She told you to knock it off. So you decide to turn to Reddit in hopes that we'll all call your wife an asshole. What's the next step? You want to show her all the random strangers on the internet who think she's an asshole, in an attempt to bully her into finally getting your way? Well, YTA. Show her that. YTA. What you're telling her is you don't view her as anything more than a baby factory and live-in childcare. Screw what she wants and her identity as an individual. You asked her to consider it. She said no. You should have discussed this before you got pregnant again. Sorry, but YTA. A job is so much more than the money it brings in. It's purpose, pride, interaction with others. It's getting out of the house and living in the grown-up world. Neither you nor anyone has the right to take the above from your wife. YTA. You knew she wanted to stay working and you still decided to have another child. presumably knowing the costs of childcare. Stop pressuring your wife. YTA. You're being overly stingy for literally no reason. Your wife has a passion, and by your own testimony, you can clearly afford some sort of childcare service without any stress. You're being unfair by trying to force your wife into a role she doesn't want to be in and still wanting more kids. I tried reminding her that the pay doesn't matter, it matters to her. A sense of self-worth is a good thing. I tried reminding her that the pay doesn't matter. Okay, so if money isn't an issue, stop being selfish and leave her to do what makes her happy. YTA. YTA. You asked and she said no. Now you keep pursuing the idea. And you may very well be able to afford for her to stay home, but she doesn't want to stay home. She doesn't want to work from home. Maybe you should have your dental practice at home, and then you can take care of the kids while she goes to her job. She's a grown-ass woman who has a job she enjoys. Let her pursue her dreams. She's not a bubble-headed person whom you get to mold to your whims. YTA. I didn't work for a year without kids, and it drove me crazy. Some people need to get out of the house. She is creative and social at work, both very important things for overall health and well-being. Let her have something that is just hers. YTA. Your wife loves her job. She's probably glad to get away from being a busy mother and your wife for a while and talk to other people who aren't you or small children. Why would you take that away from her and force her into a life she'd hate? You sound pushy, arrogant and stubborn. Back off. Respect your wife. YTA. Incredibly selfish. Also, incredibly stupid if you understand the financial implications. YTA. You and your wife have previously discussed this, and she said she didn't want to give up work. Why would you push on this issue? Her job is clearly more to her than just making money. So respect that and don't force her into being an unhappy stay-at-home parent. Edit spelling. YTA. I get your POV, but try to appreciate hers. Many women come to bitterly regret leaving the job market when they are widowed, their husband becomes disabled or loses his job, or when they get divorced. Not everyone feels comfortable relying on someone else's salary. And not everyone wants to be a stay-at-home parent. It's fine to ask, but pressuring her is not appropriate. YTA 1. You're telling her what she does and who she is doesn't matter versus money too. It's her passion. Recognize that. 3. Not everything's about the money. 4. You can cover daycare and support your wife's passion. 5. Be nice to your wife.
Come on, man. You know the answer.
Ring ring. The 1950s called and want their archaic and sexiest view of women back. If you can easily afford to live off one salary, you can afford daycare. Let your wife be the person she wants to be, not the person you want her to be. Believe it or not, I'm sure you choose not to. Doing a job she loves actually makes her a better mom, because she's happy, and that will come through in how she deals with people. YTA.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.